6 a.m. It's been a very short night. We got home by like an hour ago. Had a bit of sleep and now it's time to head to the airport, hopefully beat traffic, and first stop will be Hong Kong. We checked in. Denpasar is one of the airports where you still need to get your boarding pass printed. We queued here for our Garuda Indonesia flight. It's actually the first time I'm flying this airline. The flight will be about 5 hours. We have plenty of time. It's about 2 hours until our flight departs from here. So we're just gonna take our time, go through immigration now, and then make our way to a quiet area, get some more rest. We spent a couple hours in a lounge, mostly slept, and now it's time for boarding. We're walking towards our gate. The flight looks on time so far. From now it's roughly 27 hours until we will be in Switzerland, so quite a long trip. Off the plane and I feel actually quite refreshed. Now we're gonna find a nice lounge here in Hong Kong. It's 6 p.m. or almost 7 actually. I just had a long shower, kind of to wake up, almost back in European time zone because I stayed up all night yesterday, and then with a few exceptions of course, I went to the airport and I was sleeping most throughout today in a lounge on the flight from Denpasar from Bali to Hong Kong. Now it's time to get some work done. Our flight boards in about 5 hours. Plan to work those 5 hours plus about another maybe 3 on the plane, and then get another 6 hours of sleep before we arrive tomorrow morning at 6 in Zurich. 13 and a half hours later, and we just landed in Zurich, 6:30 today here. The flight for 13 and a half hours. It took about 1.5 milligrams melatonin, 2 hours before we boarded, and I think that really helped to sleep through. Back in Switzerland, I love immigration here, especially since they have these quick gates, so it takes you less than 5 minutes normally to get back in. Time for a workout and a cold shower, and then I'll be definitely more refreshed than now. Much better, feel like a newborn. Cold shower and workout work quite well. And now it's time to get the day started. So today was another 13-hour flight, and quite often I get asked, for good reason, if I know about my carbon dioxide impact per year and if I offset it. So currently I do not offset any carbon dioxide. And it's not like I like the fact that I fly so much. I try to not fly if I don't have to go somewhere. But so far the benefits of in-person meetings have just always outweighed purely Skype meetings. Whenever I can have Skype meetings, I have Skype meetings. Like I have probably like 4 or 5 on average per day. Maybe that's too much, maybe 2 or 3 per day on average. But if I can, I avoid flying, but very often I still have to fly, and I fly an insane amount of time. The way I go about that is I try to pass everything that's still usable on to someone else who can use it instead of throwing it away. And then also use a ton of public transport. I'm just about to jump on a train. One problem that I felt with using a train in Switzerland before was that you can never just pay per trip, or you could, but that would sometimes not be optimal. So you can get a day card, which is, let's say, 15 bucks, but you could spend much more on individual tickets. Whereas in other cities you can get a mobile app that just tracks where you go, and then at the end of the day calculates the best price. So there's an app that finally offers that functionality here. It's called FareTick, for like fare tickets. Testing it for the first time today. Curious to see how this app solves the problem of me forgetting to check out. I know that at the registration they asked for access to the activity data from my iPhone, so I guess they can check once I start walking and they'll send me a reminder. Right now I thought of it, but I'm sure it's going to happen that I don't think of it. But in general I like the idea of having something efficient where you pay for what you use and you don't always have to make a decision in advance as to whether you're using a full day ticket or just a trip ticket. So that's going to be interesting. Today I just completed the trifecta of modes of transport. I flew, I took the train, now I just drove home to Elena's place in the Smart, pretty environmentally friendly car. And for certain routes, the train or bus just takes so much longer. For example, here I'm going from Rapperswil to Eggeri. By train would take me at least 3 times as long as it takes me if I take the car. So even though I would have wanted to take the train, sometimes it's just not worth the extra time and hassle. Another thing that I really like is that while driving, I very often listen to podcasts. I was just listening to Tim Ferriss now. Being back here, it does help me stick to my routines. A bit more controlled environment helps. because listening to podcasts in my car is just something that I've gotten used to, either calls or podcasts. To come back to this earlier point of what I do about my carbon dioxide footprint, I think overall I am looking to reduce it, but I see too much value in face-to-face meetings right now to fly less. But one of my goals for this next quarter is to slow down the pace at which I'm traveling. I think so far this year has been pretty good. Like, we just stayed in Bali for 2 weeks and we were in Florida for 3 weeks at the beginning of the year. But now the next few weeks are going to be a bit more 2 to 3 day trips. And I realize I'm tired and I'm probably not making much sense now. So I'm just gonna go finish the day, send out the last few emails, calls, and then I'm off to bed and I'll have a melatonin tablet and we'll probably sleep well. So if you're taking something away from this episode, think about where you are environmentally friendly and where you're not. Maybe think about why, how you can improve that, and how we can all make the world a better place. And with that spiritual note, I am definitely out for today.